Hello, everyone. How are you doing? So today we'll be going over how to install Cisco Packet Tracer, Kali Linux, and VirtualBox for the upcoming labs. And I will be mostly focusing on the CompTIA A Plus labs, but I might have more projects in the future. So first, we're going to go to the Cisco Academy Lab. And on this website, we can download Packet Tracer. Yeah, you might have to enroll for one of their courses, but after you do so and after you make an account, you should be able to just download it and use it. Okay, next up we have VirtualBox. So let's just go over there. Oh, and by the way, I'll be including all the links to the tools within the description. Okay, so for VirtualBox, we want to go to the Downloads tab and click on the Windows host or Mac OS, depending on depending on which operating system you use. So let's do that real quick. After you've clicked on the Downloads tab, locate it within the Downloads folder. It should be a .xs or .exx executable file. Here it is. After clicking on the executable file, it'll bring you to the wizard. I recommend just clicking on the defaults. This warning will it'll basically disconnect your system from the network for a couple minutes. Just ignore that. Okay, now we're ready to install. Now this might take a few minutes, so I'll just get some coffee, get some water, come back. Okay, after installing, it'll give you an option to start right away. Here is the VirtualBox desktop. So right now we don't have an ISO file, but we're about to download it from Kali Linux. So in a moment. In order to create a virtual machine, we need to have an ISO file. For the upcoming labs, I recommend using Kali Linux. Kali Linux is a Linux distribution that focuses on cybersecurity and pen testing. It has multiple tools for exploiting. On their website, we just go to their Kali Linux installer. I'm using the 64-bit version. After installing the ISO file, you can go back to the VirtualBox and use Control-N to add a new virtual machine. After doing this, it will ask you to for the location of the ISO file, which should just be in your downloads. You can just give it whatever name. In this case, I'm just going to call it Kali VM1. And then you can also select whatever folder you want the virtual machine in. There we go. Selected it. Alright, let's hit next. Okay, now it's going to ask how much resources are we going to be dedicating to this virtual machine. I don't know, I recommend just using the default, but if you're picky, you can just increase or decrease the slider. Also using default, well, in this case, I'm just going to use 10 gigabytes of disk space. But you can add or decrease as you keep going, as you move forward, depending on your needs. Okay, here we go. Once you're done, it'll just give you a summary of the how much memory you're giving to it, disk size, space, and the machine name. You can just hit finish here. As you can see, our virtual machine is now on the VirtualBox desktop, and we can now load it up. Might take a few minutes for the VM to power up. Okay, there we go. Next, Callie's going to ask you for basic installation, so I'm just going to move to full screen for this. Control right. Just go for basic installation. Basically telling me to Control F if I want to go back. Probably mess with that later. Okay. Now the next few steps are pretty straightforward. It's going to ask you what language you speak, where you're located. Alright, so once you've downloaded Kali, it might take a few minutes to sign in to load, see if I'll be right back. To your product. To see the different tools. We're going to be using Kali for later labs to look at the file system and how Kali can write information to hard drives as well as other information. All right. After this, there's one final tool you should download for the upcoming labs. Hello. You can find multiple installers of Wireshark on their homepage, including stable releases, old releases. But for our purposes, we're just going to go with the Windows installer. After installing Wireshark, you're going to see your Wi-Fi network, your Ethernet network. Right now, we're not going to mess with this right now. But Wireshark is a tool to analyze networks and to see which protocols are being used at the time. Things such as hypertext transfer protocol and like POP. Okay, thank you for watching this tutorial on which tools we're going to be using for the labs in the future, and I hope you have a great day.